Coming up on this week's CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL show, breaking down everything round 16 the AFL has to offer. We're talking player props, game picks, best bets. Alex, what's your favourite?
Amartey party's going to do it again for me Friday night at the SCG. Let's go!
How about you, Stats Guy?
Port Adelaide midfielders to tear it up at the G.
And guess what? Harry McFly. Love it. Can't wait. It's a massive round ahead. Round 16 AFL. Can't wait. This is the CODE Bet Daily AFL Weekly, Daily AFL Weekly AFL show. Check it out right now. Welcome to CODE Bet Daily AFL Weekly show. That's right. It's time for round 16. Ooh, footy's back of the AFL.
No more buy rounds.
Thank God for
We're
that.
done.
That went way too long.
All right, I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. It's called CODE Bet. You can find that at codebet.com.au. You will find a breakdown of every single game, every round of the AFL and NRL, actually, for that matter, at codebet.com.au with all your best bets, player props, breakdowns, what we're looking at, what we're
Are you
doing.
just breaking into song again?
Basically.
Yeah, nice.
White boy
Happens
rapping.
twice a podcast.
They call me the ginger M&M. Anyway.
You're the ginger Argentinian. You're the ginger M&M.
Anything
You're the
ginger, a lot
most
of
ginger
things.
Aston Villa fan.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if that's
No,
true.
actually, there'll be a few ginger
Yeah,
Aston
there
Villa
would
fans
be,
in
yeah.
there.
Might have the biggest ginger beard of all the Aston Villa fans out there. Either way, I'm joined as always by, what did we call you yesterday? The Puntiffs.
Yeah.
Puntiffs, yeah.
That's all that is.
Hey, we nailed that. Steve Smith, 50. Shout out, boys.
Crushed it. We actually missed a couple other ones just by a
Yeah,
sheer-
David Warner got dropped
Dave
for
Warner
my
was dropped
over-under.
with the first wicket over-under was pretty brutal.
Happy you
And,
still made 66, though.
Yeah.
What else we have? I had Marnus at 50 plus.
That
We're gonna go for 47.
multi I took's going. We need Stuart Broad to take 2 wickets, and then we've cleared the Australian first innings. And then
right,
it's
yeah.
Brook to score 15, Root 30, and Cummins 3 wickets.
Nice
Pretty
one.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyway, the Puntiffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll take it.
nice.
There you go. It's Alex Donnelly over there.
Yeah, g'day. Confused about a lot of games this weekend.
It's tough.
It's weird.
You're confused a lot of the time, though.
Yeah, but more than usual.
And Stats Guy, Liam
I'm
McAllion,
less
what's going on?
confused. I'm happy I'm looking really big in the middle of this podcast.
Stats guy's cheering because there's another Taylor Swift concert and he can use his MCC again.
I feel like we should just get him a high chair for this table.
I feel like this already is
So
one.
his little legs kicking.
Those little legs.
Where's my bottle? Set it down, Stats Guy. No boozing on the job.
Yeah, well, he's got to have a sippy
till
cup
3.
after that one time.
Yeah,
Until 3.
one time.
Anyway, this is Code Footy's back daily weekly. It's the daily AFL show. The daily where we'll get there.
Oh, wait,
The
it's
weekly
the
Weekly
AFL.
AFL show that is the daily show for Thursday, the
That's
29th
right.
of June.
We've got it.
Well done, Alex.
And we're talking player props, game picks, best bets of every single game of this round. To recap last week's results pretty easily, we all got 5.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
think you guys tipped Geelong.
Essendon let us down and Melbourne let him down.
Melbourne let me down. But that's all
Checks
right.
out.
We've all got 5.
Imagine relying on Essendon.
Wouldn't be me.
Yeah, no.
Sit and support him.
That also, so that leaves me trailing Alex by 1 and Liam's ahead of us by, ahead of Alex by 4.
Yep.
84, 80 and 79. Let's get into it. Straight off the bat, a massive Thursday night
Huge.
this evening. Brisbane versus Richmond. I've written this for the website, so go check that out. It's a very good lengthy breakdown because this is one of the weird ones where we launched CODE Bet September 1st last year. Who played on September 1st last year, Alex?
It was Brisbane and Richmond
That's right.
in a elimination final.
That's right.
Crazy game.
And it was an absolute belter of a game, this one too. It was, 17 lead changes, I think. It was
Yeah.
like 104,
Wow.
102.
It was legitimate shootout vibes and it was
and of
awesome.
course, it gave rise to one of the great bad beats in CODE Bet history
Yeah,
on its very first
first
day of
bad beat.
existence.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
$101 multi that missed by VAR,
Which we figured out was
DRS,
wrong.
which was
Yeah.
wrong. Tom Lynch, kick 4,
Yep.
and he had 3, and the other one was overturned. The 4th was actually overturned. So
Yep.
brutal beat. But either way, look,
It's up
this
there with
one's,
the match short beat.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
this one's fascinating. Brisbane, $1.38 favourites ahead of Richmond, $3.20. The line's about 3 goals, 17.5.
Yep.
The over-under, 176.5. It's a pretty timid line, I think,
Yep.
for these two teams. So
Especially for Brisbane, yeah.
to get right into that, I think like Richmond, like they're 12th in points per game. But
Look at it when they're at home.
Gabba.
this is the thing. Well, this is Richmond. Richmond,
It's a
12th.
yeah.
Thing is,
Oh, yeah, I
95
wrote about
points.
this week.
95 points in their last 3 games. They're absolutely flying the Tigers. Defensively, they're just behind. These basically, the teams are pretty much even defensively, like 78, 79 points a game.
But they can leak.
They can, and so can Brisbane. Like we've
Yeah.
seen them get beaten
They just
by
go all out
leaking
attack
just all the time.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They lost to what, Hawthorn a few weeks
But
ago.
I was like, Richmond did, like they won that game against GWS, but it was 106 to 108 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get into these weird shootouts. So I think the easy one for this was the over. And because I think 16 of the past 18 Richmond games away from home have gone over. Brisbane, 4 of their last 6 home games have gone over. And look, they're just kicking goals for fun, both these teams,
Great
right?
forward
So
lines.
good forward lines, even without Tom Lynch, but especially on the Brisbane side of things, at the Gabba, they always just feel unstoppable, right? Like between Hipwood, Chucky Cameron, Joe Danaher, Gunston.
Well, I think in the last 3 years.
He's not playing though, is he?
Yeah, no, Gunston
Oh,
Gunston stood
I'll
himself
take a
down.
week off, guys.
Well, he's hardly been kicking goals, but you think about it, in the last 3 years, I think they've lost to Geelong, Melbourne, Sydney, and Essendon. That Essendon one was a weird one.
That was a weird game,
It was
but-
this time last year. Essendon won like 3 in a row. It's like, we're not. Yeah. But that's who they've lost to in the last 3 years
they've
at
been
home. So it's a
unstoppable
pretty good list.
Yeah, so they're undefeated at home this year, Brisbane 6-0, 25-4 over the last 3.
3
pretty good
years.
record.
Wow.
3 years, 25-4. You'll take it.
That's damn good.
Richmond come in with a bit of form, obviously. 3 straight games that they won. They aren't exactly massively banner wins, however, really, are they? You don't feel like they are?
No.
Because, I mean, they got into some form, but who they beat? They beat what? GWS,
Saints.
Freo and Saints.
Saints
right?
are solid, but
GWS, Freo and Saints.
great.
They beat the Saints in the torrential rain here, and they squeaked past GWS, and then that Freo game was Freo off the bye, wasn't it?
And
Yeah,
they
and
were horrible.
yeah.
So
No, they weren't. They weren't off the bye. They were just horrible.
Yeah. So this is a pretty straightforward one, I think. I think we get very similar to what we got in the elimination final.
I agree.
So what does that mean? Joe Danaher, 3+ goals. That's what happened last year. I wrote about it last year. I'm writing about it again this year. $2.60 for 3 for Big Joe. Doesn't mind the Gabba. 75 and 30 games there. And I think ever since he's gone over to the Lions playing against the Tigers, Big Joe hasn't minded that. I think he's got he's gone 3-3 and so he's got 3-3 and 3. I think he's got
In
3
his
in
last
his last
3.
3. So,
Oh, okay.
so give me another 3 for Big Joe. Dunkley, Lockie Neal, they're the engine room, obviously. The point is, I think at this stage of the season, the value for Lockie Neal, 30+ disposals, Dunkley 25+. Like Dunkley just doesn't go under 25 now.
No.
I think it's once in his last 8 games
He's
he's
been
gone
so
below
good for-
26.
Yep.
Awesome recruit
And
for them.
whereas Neal is crushing. He's gone for 29+ in 5 of his last 6.
Yep.
And he averages 29 at the Gabba in 52 games.
I think he's had
That's
like 35 against Brisbane in his last couple. Didn't he have something insane amount last year?
39 in the elimination.
Yeah, there you
39.
go.
I
So
thought it was at least 35.
you could probably bump
Wow.
Neal up to 35 if you want, but to go safe, my pick here
Safe.
for this one, safe, 30+ for Neal, 25+ for Dunkley, $2.50.
He's bumping it.
Just as a quick little,
Yeah.
multi between the two of them. Off you go. And on the Tiger side, Taranto, he's been absolutely unreal. 32 disposals over the last 3 weeks.
Brownlow form.
36, 35, and 38, and he's kicked a goal in 7
He
of his
hasn't
last
gone
8.
below 30 since like round
He's been-
7 or
yeah.
something.
Well, the
Since
thing
Kane
is,
Collins
he's not
had to
the
go to-
top 150 players
Nah,
anyway.
he's
so
still-
But he's
I think he's
probably going to win the
149
Brownlow the way he's going.
he might win the Brownlow.
Yeah. He's up there.
To be
now.
honest, being the level of petty where you hear someone call you not the top 150 of AFL players and going, I'll show him, and just win the Brownlow, like that's pretty
That would
gnarly.
be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine in
That's
his
just-
speech, he
That's the
references.
biggest FU like, in the world.
The first thing, he gets the medal put over him
Hey, Kane.
by whoever won it last year. Is like, not bad for the 150 first
That
round
would
player
be-
in the league, huh?
That would
Or
be
just
awesome.
give the KG, the LeBron James,
LeBron,
right?
yeah.
It's like, K Corns, this is for you.
Don't think he'd do that, but I would absolutely lose it if he went, not bad for the 150
be-
first ranked player.
That'd be amazing.
I do like that. 35+ disposals, anytime goal for Taranto, $3.60.
That's the thing. He's scoring goals now.
Yeah.
So he
how you
scored
win
in his
Brownlow
last
votes as well.
5. He's got 9 goals in his last 5 games. It's like, yeah, okay,
At
this
least
is
one
where
in
the
7
umpire.
of his last 8.
It's how
So he's
Chris
just-
won the Brownlow last year.
Exactly.
It's like goals and a lot of
Goals and
possessions.
clearances and things like that.
Shai Bolton's the other one. I think one of you guys might have mentioned him last week, right?
Me.
And it's just that simple idea of like his disposal tallies. But he had a bit of a
He had a
quieter
horrible
one last
start.
week, but
He had a horrible start to the season.
Coming up the ground more now.
in his last 7 games, he's averaged 25.
Yeah. I also like
Wow,
that
that surprised me
McWalter's
so
gone,
much.
hey, Trent Cotchin, go to the midfield. You rule.
And so he's also had a goal in 8 straight, I think,
Yep.
Bolton. So
Okay.
again, another little same game multi with that. 25 disposals, anytime goal, show Bolton, off we go. Your first goal kick for this game, Jack Rewalt.
Yep, knew this was coming.
This was an absolute cracker last year in I think it was for the preview for this game in the elimination final. He's now got the first goal in 4 of the last 7 times.
Wow.
The Tigers have played up there. So
Awesome.
pretty crazy. He's got 35 goals in 13 career games at Fortress Gabba too. So
Just go. Nice.
Yeah,
not bad. That's
nearly
basically
3.
3 a game almost.
Just short of 3.
So Rewalt, 2+ goals, only $1.67. Go to that to 3. Rewalt first goal kicker about $10 yesterday, so I love that. But the pick here for me, Lions, 1-39.
Yep.
Over.
$2.15 and the over, of course. The thing is, I don't like the line because the line obviously sat at the 18, 3-goal mark. I think the average margin between these two, between the last 5 games, 14 points. They've been absolutely belting these games. So I think it was like 2 points, 4 points.
You had the
20
one
point,
last year at the MCG where Richmond was 7-8 goals in front at halftime and got run over.
Yep. So it's awesome.
That was
so
Noah Cumberland.
Expect the close one. Expect the belter. Can't wait for this tonight. I'm
going to be at
Brisbane.
the pub sinking tins. It's going to be great.
Lovely.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's always good.
Wouldn't be me.
Right?
What about you, stats guy?
Yeah, I'm similar. Just Brisbane, I think, are going to win this, especially at home at that Fortress. As you said, their forward line, I think they've got too many options in the forward line. Don't think Richmond have enough good defenders that are going to cover all of those forwards. So, got to go Brisbane.
Alex.
Tipping Brisbane as well. Also throw in Zach Bailey, 20 and 2 goals.
20 and 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been kicking goals
been
last
good,
couple. Yeah. He's finally got that run and carry going out of the midfield. It's like, oh yeah, no, you're doing good things.
Friday.
Nice.
Let's do it. This is Sydney versus Geelong, Alex.
Yes, at the SCG.
Your beloved Swans.
Hell yeah.
Did they have a win last week?
I think we just got it. I'll have to
Just
check.
got over
I'll
the
have to
line,
check the steward's photo just to make sure. Look, the Swans have come in from $2.11 yesterday. $1.96 now. Line is +1.5. Geelong $1.89 -1.5. That's awesome bookmaking. The over under is 168.5. Well, easy starting point. What's happened the last 2 times Geelong and Sydney have played, Jim?
Well, the Cats flogged them in the grand final, as I recall.
Yes.
I've blacked out the last 2 times they've played, so I can't remember. I believe we have
That
been
might be a problem.
All those tins.
no tins. The funny
If
thing
it's not
was
the tins, go see a doctor.
I was
What are you
having
doing?
no tins in either of the games, so it was pretty disappointing. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a combined like 170 points or something, just bad. But the Swans have won the last 3 at the SCG. Geelong, interestingly enough, have failed to cover the line in its last 6 against teams that are ranked lower than them on the ladder.
Ooh.
That's a bit weird.
That's a weird
well,
one.
They had a 50.5 line against GWS when they got rolled, so that was that. And then I'll just have to look into their
those
other
lines are
games.
too
There was the
big,
Essendon
maybe,
game as well, where that was before Essendon started moving up the table. You have a look. Sydney has won 6 of its last 7 games at the SCG against the reigning premiers. Like those weird ones are the ones that I love. And 4 of the last 5 between the two have gone over the total match points line, and that's $1.88. The over-under is 168.5. Geelong have started to leak some points recently. That's without Radaglia playing. He's back this week, but 100 plus in 3 of the last 6. The Swans, well, he scored 200 last week, so I know it's only West Coast, but it's almost like sometimes you just need like a confidence boosting kill, and it's just like.
That they can, confidence they can do it.
And
I know
you
what mean.
strut
I
ass.
like that stats guy's pretending like he knows what that feels like.
Yeah.
What? Kicking 200
No,
goals?
just a
North
confidence
Melbourne.
boosting kill.
North
So,
Melbourne, yeah. Like your 2 wins this year have
Just
been
in local,
that stressful.
footy. I've
As
done that a
opposed
few
to North
times.
Melbourne being like the cartoon thing that gets like absolutely pummeled by like a steamroller.
Yeah, that was literally the Swans to West Coast. So, but the Swans, they've come strutting us into the SCG Monday morning going, how good's life? You know, Tommy McCartan's coming back by all reports as well. But let's start off with some picks here. Amartey Party.
It's a Marty party.
Kicked 4 for us
Amartey
last
party.
week. He's $6.40 to kick 3. Like, he kicked
Yeah,
4
if
last
kick-
week,
yeah.
and he came off at 3/4 time. They didn't play him for the last quarter because it was his first full game back from a hamstring. So, well-managed minutes. It does help when you're 150 points in front. So, I don't mind that. The $6.40, as I said last week, he's an aerial threat.
value.
He's an ever-present danger. And with Radaglia returning, like, it's first game back from an injury. It's like, you're going to struggle to keep up with him. Like, in body on body, you've probably got him covered. But if Amartey can run and jump at the pill, unless Tom Stewart chops off, it's like, Amartey could have a night out here. Chunley, 30 plus at $3.50. He's had 25 or more in 5 of his last 6. I know I'm bumping it up to the 30, but last week he had 33 possessions, 19 score involvements, a bunch of
I reckon we
inside
could have got
50s.
33 against West
I don't
Coast.
know. You roll an ankle walking uphill, so I don't think you could. And he kicked 2 goals. Last year in the grand final, obviously had 29 and 2 when we got obliterated. He was a lone hand there. $3.50. He's a confidence player as well. So I don't mind that. I think that was a pretty good price, actually. I thought he'd be a lot shorter than that. Jim's favourite player.
Whoa. Joel.
There we go.
Nice.
Averaging 25 possessions a game and just under a goal a game. 32 and 3 last week. If he didn't get 3 votes, I am not here. His last 2 games, he's had 59 possessions and 5 goals.
Like a metaphysical statement. Like,
You're not here. Well, I don't get
just
that
don't
one.
exist.
Yeah, literally. I don't exist. So 25 plus for Errol is $1.90 and the goal's $1.60. So I don't mind those. Even the 2 goals I might bump in there as well. That should be in the paper tomorrow. Geelong's scoring has dried up. So their last 7 games, they're only averaging 82 per game with 5 scores in the 70s. And then you look at their SCG average in their last 6, it's 75.6. It's not, you're like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this because it's like, I'm used to Geelong putting 150 on the Swans.
Yeah.
This is the tricky part, right?
Yeah. And then it's like, Jeremy Cameron got sent into the shadow realm by Gary Rowan last week. So that's a plus for the Swans.
Are we serious about head trauma? It doesn't matter if it's your teammate or not. The worst.
I saw someone
debate.
comment. I did see someone comment that.
The worst debate.
there was,
at the start of
it
this-
was wild. I was
this
just like,
week.
that's dumb.
Yeah, he can't suspend. He was not trying to get rid of their best
It
player.
wouldn't surprise me if Chris went, can you actually suspend him, mate?
Yeah.
But the positive with, as we mentioned, Radical is coming back is Tom Stewart. It frees him up a little from his responsibilities as such. He's only averaged 19 against the Swans, but in fairness, he's had nothing to do in the last 2 games, so that's really not bad. His 3-year rolling average of possessions is 23.2, so 25 plus at $1.90 at the smaller SCG, especially with the Swans, despite the fact they kicked all the points last week, they still have been pretty shonky against decent teams going forward, so it should allow Stewart just to peel off and take a few marks. I see him getting that 25 plus pretty easily. Tom Hawkins is going to be the one to kick the goals, obviously 8 in his last 2 against the Swans. 4 plus is $5.50. He's got to step up with no Cameron around, but if he cops Tom McCartney's first game back, he's probably going to have him covered. So he's like, does Lewis Melican stay in the team? Like, he's a hard one to match up because he's too big for Rampy. So it's almost like McCartney has to play on him.
Yeah.
And then we'll go with Danger.
Watch him flatten the lizard.
Yeah. Oh, poor lizard. Like, that bloke has no neck. Anyway, Danger, he's probably going to play, like 95% chance of playing. So if he plays, he loves beating up in the Swans. He's had 130 plus possession game this year. That was against the Swans. He had 31 in the grand final last year. He's been involved in 95 points that Geelong have scored in those last 2 games.
95. That's an awesome.
That's not great. And he's had 25 plus in 4 of his last 5 against the Swans. $2.55 for 25 plus if he plays. Saying all of that, because it's at the SCG, tipping them. Tipping the Swans.
Oh.
Hard to go against a team that's won by 170 points.
Is it?
At home, who have won their last 3 against this team.
Against a team without their best player.
Yeah, and potentially their other best player who
It is-
may have a
You
couple
make
of
a good
crackers.
argument.
It's a good
I
argument. I
Can't follow it.
got to go Geelong.
Yeah. I think the Swans are going to make it. I think if we get beaten, I will officially give up on the top 8 dream. But I think we are primed for a run. I said against Brisbane that was the best game they played all year. Last week was out of worldly good. I know it's West Coast. Swans have been going pathetic this year. But to kick 31 goals is still impressive. Like, you still got to do it. We'll
At
talk about it
home.
later with St Kilda as well.
At home as well. Like, this is the thing. Like, we have seen the Swans just throw an absolute shocker here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
And
trust them.
but their shockers haven't been at home. Like, I know we lost.
I was
Wasn't
just
the
about to
Saints
say they
game?
have.
That wasn't
They-
a shocker. That was just a gross
Can
game.
I just
But-
say one thing on that? They've
What?
lost to the GWS, Freo, and Saints last. Like, I don't trust them at home at all. Like at the SCG, that's why I'm going
Geelong.
Yeah.
But you make some good argument. You got Danger and Jezza out. I think it's going to be really
Well,
close. but
we don't know the dangers.
I got to take Geelong.
Nice one. Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. We're going to Adelaide, North Melbourne.
Oh,
Stats guy.
That'll be this will be the most excited I've ever been. I'm not excited at all with this game. It's we are horrible
Your
in Adelaide.
context and inflection is weird when it comes to these.
Sometimes it is. We're going
Just
Adelaide,
dead
$1.11, and North Melbourne are $8. I think they're just rising $1 every day this week. We're at $6, I think, at the start
I
of
thought
the
it
week.
was $6.50 the
It
other
was,
day.
and now
Yeah,
it's up to $8. The line is 41.5. So if you're going to go the 40 plus, you might as well go the 41. And then the over under is 177.5. I was just looking through all the stats. North Melbourne, we hate playing in Adelaide. Just in general, we haven't beaten Adelaide or Port Adelaide there since 2003.
So you've never won at the Adelaide Oval.
Never won at the Adelaide Oval.
There you go.
So we're
Not
zero.
since Stats guy was being alive and he won it. in Adelaide
Oh, we
Oval.
definitely, we have, but not. I was very young.
So you haven't won since the footy park days.
Yeah, we haven't, literally. And that was against Adelaide. I think we've beaten Port for even longer. So we lost our last 13 away
Port
games.
have been
against-
around since like 1999.
Yeah, we just are horrible in Adelaide. I've been to a few games over there and just get smashed. Crows have sort of surprised punters and a lot of people. We sort of didn't talk them up at the start of the season.
Oh, no,
They're
we
at
got them wrong. Look at our
we've
over
got,
under.
we
We're
got them
like
very wrong.
under.
But most people did. They're in 8th. They've just got a great balance of experience and rising stars. Everyone thought it would still take another year or two for their rising stars to come through, but their forward line especially has just been
It
awesome.
goes to show when you get a bunch of kids in all at the same time, and,
Yeah.
and those picks play together.
They
you
play together
rise
for a
up.
long time. Yeah,
So it's like, hey, West Coast, maybe split the pick later this year.
yeah. No, that's a good point.
We'll take it to Carlton.
I
That's
reckon
the
GWS.
other thing, I don't mind the over in this one. North have found some synergy. Coleman Jones, he's not kicking that many goals, but he's been creating a lot of
Mate,
space
you
for
got
Larky.
to drop him. He
He blocks for Larky. It's really good because before we put him in the
This
side,
is Stats Guy's favourite topic.
yeah,
He's like, I blocks for Larky,
he does.
though.
He does.
He doesn't get a
great
No, but
possession.
when Larky doesn't play with another tall guy, he can't get a mark, can't get a goal. So
I love it.
More tall guys in our forward line, the better it is for Larky.
Help out the Suva.
Yeah, Goldie's even been going down
I
there.
was about to say,
and helping
can I
him out,
get Coleman Jones under 5 possessions?
Yeah,
That'd
you
be
can
my
do that.
bet.
I don't rate him at all. He might be around a couple of years, but
He
he's
did
helping
kick
him out.
9 in the VFL before he got bought back,
Yeah.
and he hasn't got near it since.
He can't do anything in the AFL at the moment. And then, so because of that, North's last 6 matches have actually gone over the total points.
You
and
guys are fun.
6, yeah, we're actually fun to watch, which is very surprising. And then 6 of the last 8 Crows home matches have gone over just because they've absolutely dominated some teams.
In
there.
fairness, one of the overs, they literally kicked the over themselves.
Yes, that helps, but they're just really good at home. So you got to go the over 177
It
and
might
a
do
half
the
in this
same
one.
here again as well. I think.
And then we'll look at some player props. Luke Pedlar, he's probably not the most well-known player, but he's a fan favourite now in Adelaide. He's been awesome. He's got
Have you been on those Adelaide Crows fan forums?
No, I definitely have not. I'm saying
So I've never heard anyone go, you know what?
No.
I like Luke Pedlar.
He's been really good. He's kicked 17 goals this year. He's forward pressure. He gets a few goals from that. He's a fan favourite. 2+ in 4 of his last 5 games.
I think stats guys just he's kicked goals. Everyone loves him.
No, they do. They go nuts for him. He does funny celebrations. He just gets up and about. I love him. Anyway, $1.96 for the 2+. He's
Luke
kicked
Pedlar's
2+
number 1
in
fan.
4 of his last 5. I'm definitely not, but there's a few Adelaide people that love him. I know that for a fact. And then Rory Sloane, I said last year that he was close to being should retire just because he looked really slow, but he's definitely jumped back up to his normal averages. He's averaging 20 disposals this year and 24 disposals at the Adelaide Oval across his whole career. So I don't think he's going to go below 20 again. So 20 plus at $2 with Ladbrokes. And even Riley O'Brien, who Alex likes in Supercoach, just provides him with really good taps.
Love him.
And yeah, he just provides great taps to all of their midfield. So all of their midfield always gets 20, 25. So don't mind Rory Sloane. Looking on the north side of the player props, we got Bailey Scott, another guy that isn't really talked about.
Nah, I'm
fan favourite, though.
In
Yeah,
fairness,
I like
I'm on
him, yeah.
board with this Bailey Scott things. I
He's been
saw him
really
have
good.
about 40 touches
Yeah,
against
he's
the
had a couple of
Swans.
games this year, 30 disposals. I think last 2 years he couldn't even get really 15 disposals, but he's had a really good season, gotten a lot of confidence being put on the wing this year, and he's averaging 25 disposals across his last 5 games. So get on him for 25 plus disposals. $3.15. I think he's just going to get a few hands off LDU, who's back in the side. Out from the midfield, he's going to find some space on that wing, so 25 plus. And then Cam Zerha. Alex again wasn't happy with this one, but
Yeah,
he's
I
been
don't
really
agree
good.
with
8
this.
goals in his last 5 games, and he's kicked 2+ in his last 2 meetings with the Crows. So
Also a fan favourite.
yes,
There has been
The
11
Bull.
tweets about Luke Pedlar in the last 25 days.
He's
Clear fan favourite.
He is. No, I'm telling you.
11
They-
across
you
all
know
of
those
all,
random- those
across
random
all of Al
interviews?
Gore's internet. There is 11 tweets about Luke
I'm a couple of
Pedlar.
those tweets, yeah. But that's okay. $2.20 for Cam Zerha.
Most of the
$2+.
tweets
What-
are stats guy tweeting
I'm
out.
telling
hey, is Luke Pedlar
They
a
post
fan
about him a
favourite?
lot
Anybody
on their
else?
page.
I was about to say, and
when they do those
and-
interviews.
and one of them is the AFL for when Dane Zorko
Zorko.
eye gouged him, and then that was like a month ago.
The other one was a picture from the AFL of stats guy wearing a "I love you" Luke Pedlar t-shirt.
I love LP.
Definitely not. I'm more of a Bailey Scott man. Anyway, Adelaide were unlucky not to beat the Pies last week. They've
were.
beaten the Power, Lions, and Saints at home this season, who are all in the top
That's
5.
but that's what we've said. They're like a 5-goal better side.
5 goal better. Yeah, that's why I was a bit cautious
They're
because
gonna-
North have covered the line
They're
a
going
lot
to beat
lately.
North by
75.
17 goals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be at least 50. That's why I'm going to take Adelaide at the line of minus 41.5. I don't mind North at the line in a lot of their games this year, but Adelaide at home, you can't go against them. So
You can't. They're just the way that they play. It's so much more free flowing.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
it's weird. They play so
better.
much differently.
So-
I mean,
crisp.
it's just literally watch the third quarter from last week.
Yeah.
That's how they played.
Yep.
yeah, so you got to go Adelaide.
I'm taking Adelaide.
Adelaide.
That feels to me like it's sort of one that gets away from North, and you're
Yeah,
like,
we've
oh
been
my
good
god,
last
how are
week.
we being beaten by 10
I honestly
goals?
though wouldn't be shocked if this is like a 140 to 80.
Yeah,
and you're
I
like,
think we could still get to
oh,
80.
North still
Yeah.
kicked
Our
12,
attack's been
13
pretty
goals,
The
but it's
over
just
still
like,
hits.
yeah, it's
Bit of
just like
defense.
Griffin Logue, you're just like, oh, another one.
Saturday afternoon, the Western Bulldogs, Fremantle at Marvel Stadium,
Yuck.
$1.52
Awesome.
for the Dogs,
Okay.
$2.65 for the Dockers. The line is 12.5. Try and split this game. Jeez. What is it?
Can't
160,
wait to not watch this.
164.5 is the over-under. I think the stat was Stats Guy.
Yes.
7 of the past 8
Yes,
at Marvel
I wrote that down,
have all gone over.
They have.
Between the two or just in
Just
general?
Just in
general.
general, because Marvel, the perfect conditions.
That's right. We had the weird thing about the MCG was like 8 in a row had
A
gone
few,
under.
of them being North games as well,
So,
and Bulldogs games. Just
I do
been
like
gone
this.
over.
St Kilda last week.
St Kilda.
I like the over. I think the Dogs, Freo, this is just that one that sort of just gets sneakily, hang on a second, how is this like 88, 85? Like what has happened here? And away we go. This entire game, I don't know how we feel about this. Stats Guy, have you got some thoughts? What do you
I
reckon?
was just going to do a player prop that I wrote down. You got to go the Bont. He's definitely in Brownlow form if the Dogs can find some wins. I think that he can move up the Brownlow rankings if they can get some wins there. Just 25 plus and a goal. You can lock him in for that most weeks. He's done that 7 matches already this year and averages 24 and a goal against Freo in his career. So just above his average, I think he's going to get that at $2.52.
And Alex, you're all about Jaymz.
Yeah, he's my boy. I'm riding this one hard. I like a defenders for the Dogs with no Liam Jones getting his arm kicked out of Marvel Stadium. Darcy's still injured. It does give Amos a chance to really take the game away from the Dogs. Obviously, Sarong and Brayshaw delivering the pill to him.
Yep.
25-8 this season. He's kicked 3-4 times and he had 4 against Richmond. He's a gun. He's going to be a really good forward going forward. 3+ goals is $3.15. Let's get really spicy. $19 for 5.
90. That's good.
To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
He's good grab. Good. He's very accurate kick. So if he's going to get 5
That's
shots a
what I
goal,
mean.
he could kick 5 straight.
Take 6 marks inside 50.
Yeah.
I reckon we're a chance.
It's not bad.
This is the thing. So we've got Freo traveling to Marvel. They don't have a great, 4 and 8, I think,
Yeah,
in the last 5 seasons there.
Yeah, with
And,
one of them being a draw. I think it was 3 losses, and they'd beaten Collingwood, another decent team, and drew with Richmond.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bulldogs in this one. I think just in terms, I'm just going to go the head-to-head, the $1.50. I don't like them at the line. I don't like Freo 1-39. I don't like it. Because like it's one of those games where you go, Western Bulldogs 1-39, then somehow like Freo just don't show up again because we've seen that happen.
The one thing we haven't
a number of times this season.
The one
already.
thing we haven't mentioned is the bye.
Sure.
Dogs are off the bye before we start the round.
is this
Teams off the bye. Every team that's
7, yeah.
0-8.
0-8 now, is
0-8,
it? Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Apart from the teams that have played each other.
Yeah, which was St Kilda,
So it's 2 and 10.
St Kilda, Sydney, and Collingwood, Adelaide. So it's 2 and 10, but it's technically 0-8. So
Well, technically it's
with-
2 and
yeah,
10.
but no. So it's so teams off the bye that played the team last week.
Yes,
is
sure.
0 and 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Therefore, and also just because I can't get my head around the Western Bulldogs, and it just feels like Freo go here. It's just gross, and they win by 4 points, and it's like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yep.
Freo.
I'm taking the Dogs. I just think they're just a little bit better, especially at home. That's where I'm going to go.
I'm going Dogs as well. Just at Marvel, I think like you likes of Dale and Jason Johannesson, they just love playing under the roof. So.
He's still playing?
Yeah, he's actually been really good off them for them halfback. So.
Well, actually, they're 3-3 at home this season.
The Dogs.
Yeah, 3-4 Freo away.
It's a tough one. Yeah,
It's a
it's going to be
tough
close.
game to
Even
Freo.
I don't mind the Freo at the line of +12.5 because I think it's going to come down to a
I will
last
not
kick
be
or
having
something
a
like
bet
that.
in this game,
I think
except for Jaymz.
I think my best bet on Code Bet was Freo +12.5.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that's where
cool.
I'm going to land with it. But I think the Dogs win. Nice one. Right. Next game.
This is weird. Gold Coast $2.25 +6.5.
So is this Saturday night?
Saturday 4:30.
Arvo 4:30. Yeah,
Against Collingwood $1.68 -6.5.
that's weird.
It just I was before I sat down to write this, I'm like, all right, beautiful. Gold Coast will be 20-point outsiders and they'll cover. This is great. And then I see this, I'm like, oh no. The over-under's 163.5. Collingwood have won 8 of the last 9 against Gold Coast, but Gold Coast have covered in their last 5 at home.
Sure.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So
But
that
this is a much shorter line than those last 5.
Well,
at
this
home.
is
it has to be. Yeah.
If they win, they cover.
Yes.
Obviously, beating Geelong, they covered. They covered against Melbourne when
Yep.
they won last week against Hawthorn and whatever the game was before that we clearly can't remember about. Anyway, in the last 10 combined that these two have played, it's gone. The over is hit 8 of 10. In the past 5 seasons, so this is my really weird stat about Gold Coast. Round 14 onwards, because every year Gold Coast, this is the year they're gonna make finals. They're gonna do it.
And then Adelaide randomly.
In their last
8.
5 years, from round 14 onwards, so the time where everyone's like, okay, we believe they're 8-6.
Yep.
They are 9-26 in the last 5 years after round 14.
Oh, poor Gold Coast.
That doesn't average out great, does it?
9 and
No,
26.
9 and
That's horrible.
26. I was like, oh, it's just, it's bad. Anyway, Noah Anderson, he's probably been their best player this year. In their last 2 games against Collingwood, which were last year, he had 62 touches, 30 plus disposals at $2.50 with Bet365. I don't mind. And then you go to Jack Lukosius. He's sort of the spark that they really need to get. Yeah. They need. He needs to sort of have 15-2 at least if they're going to win that. He's got to straighten up though. He's kicked 26-20 this year. So that's really letting him down. 2 goals is $1.83. The 15 plus isn't much at $1.45. It could be one for your multis. And then we're looking at the youngest Dakai, Nick Dacos, 35 plus at $2.20. Couldn't get a 40 plus, to be honest. I couldn't find it. He had 37 last week. He was awesome. And he had 37 last year versus Gold Coast up there. Let's be honest, Collingwood are winning, but they're not playing great. I'm writing
Talk
this
about
one
getting
out.
T-shirts made. I feel like you should have had you've literally been saying this for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
keep
to be
winning,
honest, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
They only just got over the line.
They only just got over the line. They got
You're
rolled
right.
by Melbourne. Their win against West Coast wasn't great. They've scored 62 and 82 in their last 2 games. I feel the Collingwood under 87.5 points at $1.90 is where I'm looking as well. So I think the under is going to hit in this game too. I know I talked about how the overs hit in 8 of the last 10, but I'm just really against it. I think Collingwood win by like 8 points. It's a really weird game. It's just, you're going to look back on it. It's just like, oh yeah, that happened. I have no feeling. I feel like they're really missing Jordan De Goey, Collingwood.
They are, yeah.
And Dan McStay up forward. They need a big forward target because Myercheck for the last month, since he went off against Sydney, he's just done nothing.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that can get a lot of the ball, but not someone that can break out of packs like
Yeah.
They are really missing him at the moment.
Yeah, and then it also frees up Josh Dacos and Nick Dacos a little more. It's just that extra link. It's just, I've got no feel in this game, so I'm just Collingwood just because it's Collingwood.
Yeah, I think the Collingwood head-to-head is just kind
It's
of
actually
sure.
That's your highest odds you get for Collingwood for a while.
$1.68.
That's
You'll
pretty
take
good.
it. Top of the ladder against Gold Coast.
Yeah.
But it's Gold Coast at home. They feel very yin and yang, like disgusting against Hawthorn. But then last week, early on, I was like, oh, Hawthorn. Oh, no, okay, that was just like 5 minutes of bad.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Leo.
I'm going the Pies.
I'm going the Pies as well.
Yeah, I just think they're...
I'll take the line. I thought the line was going to be a
You're
lot
gonna
bigger. Collingwood at the line.
okay.
No,
Collingwood
not
at the
Gold
line.
Coast.
Whoa.
No. Collingwood at the line because I think they're going to win by around 20 points.
Nice one. Saturday nights, we have the Essendon Bombers taking on the Port Adelaide Power.
We do. This is another intriguing game, I reckon. Essendon are $2.60. Port Adelaide are $1.53. The line is 11.5, which is probably a bit shorter than I thought. And then the over-under is 166.5.
Why do you think Port Adelaide is shorter than what they should be? They've won 11 in a row.
No, I said the line.
Oh,
I thought the line would be a bit bigger just
And
because
this
they've
is-
won 11 in a row, yeah.
At Marvel, or is it the G?
MCG?
No, it's at the MCG.
This is
yeah.
a random
Gee.
MCG.
It's at the
game
MCG,
zone.
so that's a part of the reason I don't mind going the under because
Right.
it's supposed to be raining. And the last 5 night matches that Essendon has played at the G have gone under the total points, which is a bit of a weird stat.
One of them
but-
was that Carlton
I
game.
can remember one in particular
Yes,
that was not a great game.
No. So that's why I'm going to go the under in this one, that 166.5. And yeah, I think it's supposed to be a bit of rain as, that was predicted. Some player props as well, looking at Essendon. Nick Martin, I think he's in All-Australian contention at the moment on the wing if they actually decide to pick a winger. He's been dominating out there, averaging 22 disposals at the MCG, which is more than anywhere else in his career. And yeah, he just loves playing there, this wide space on that wing. So $2.25 for 25 plus. I don't mind that. And then Kyle Langford, they've put him as a permanent forward. He's rotated his whole career of where he's going to play, but he's just stayed permanent forward. He's got 9 goals in his past 4 games. It's been awesome. And he's a hard matchup. He's good in the air. He's good on the ground. He's really athletic. So
Alir probably plays on him.
yeah, I still think Langford, if it's on the ground, I don't know. I reckon he can beat Alir. So at least 2 goals. So $2.40 I think is really good value for someone that they're going to look for. I know 2 Meter Peter's back, but in the wet conditions, I don't mind Langford if it's on the ground a bit more. Then
How
looking
dare you discriminate against tall dudes in the wet?
and 2 Meter Peter wasn't paying enough for 2+ goals, to be honest. Then we're looking at Port Adelaide. You got to talk about Zach Butters in Brownlow form, much like Taranto and Dacos at the moment. Just 25 disposals and a goal.
7-way tie.
Yeah, it could be a tie this year, actually. He's been in insane form over the last few months. He's averaging 30 disposals and a goal over the last, I think it's about 7 games now. He's been awesome. So 25 plus disposals, anytime goals, $2.65. I think that's a lock from him for every game, no matter who they're playing. And then finally, Travis Boak. He's been not at his best this year, only averaging 14 disposals. But
He started off
all right. He had a couple of
bad.
30 disposal games.
But
and
then it's also when Butters and Rosie
Butters,
and
Rosie,
it was that
Wines.
day that
and he's like, I'm just going to go
it
hang
was
out
that
in the
day
forward
that
pocket.
Hinkley's like, all these awesome young dudes,
yeah.
go in
He's
the midfield.
Whoa, they're really good. Yeah.
Bokey, forward pocket.
Yeah, so they've been put in forward pocket.
Ken Hinkley's literally just sitting up the box going, wow, look at that. That was awesome.
He's pretty much
Keep doing that.
Keep doing that, yeah. So boats just keep getting further and further into.
Why
he
the
started
captain can't get a game?
Yeah, I think he even had a few games on the wing. Then he's into half forward. Now he's playing forward.
That's
pocket,
why Sam Power Pepper's now a tagger because like, he used to be the inside bull. Now we got Butters and
four of
Rosie.
those, yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, even Wine's in there still. So yeah, Boak's playing a lot more forward line. He's kicked a goal in 3 of his last 4 games against the Bombers. I think you'll find some space at the G here. $2.40 I think is a really good value bet for someone that's spending a lot more time forward. And then I'm just going to go Port Adelaide 1-39. I think this is going to be a close game. They did beat the Bombers by only 5 points earlier in the season.
I can't remember that game.
Yeah, that was also when around the time Port lost their 2 games. So they weren't at their best. They did lose to Adelaide around that time. I can't remember who their other loss
So
was.
this is also the first time these 2 teams have played at the G since 1998.
Oh, I didn't see
That's
that.
why
Essendon
1998.
Essendon would have won that one.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
I thought you had AFL tables up. Because that's why you feel like this is a Docklands game because it's like in a few weeks the Swans play Essendon and it's like, oh yeah, that'll be it's a Docklands.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't mind this one at the G. It's a big game for 2 top 8 teams.
Port 4 and 5
Yeah.
at the G
Yes.
over the last 5 years.
They're a much better team, though, than they have been the last couple
They
of
are.
years. They're second
Yeah,
on the ladder.
but if this was at Docklands, this would just be chips in
Yeah,
Port because
Port.
they're 10 in a
100%.
row.
Oh,
there.
100%. Yeah. They love it. They love it.
kinda
It'll
why.
be close, but yeah.
Kind of like Essendon.
You like mine, Essendon? Yeah. I'm taking Port just because they got 2-way running midfielders in Butters and Wines. You got a lot of lazy midfielders in Essendon's side where they don't tackle
Clip
as much.
that one up, Leo.
And
You
I think
thought
so.
Essendon
Butters,
lazy.
like your Butters, Wines, Rosie, I think they're going to have an absolute field day, and they don't mind it in wet conditions as well. So
True.
1-39, $2.15 for Port.
I think Essendon just somehow find a way to sneak one out of nowhere.
I'm going
Are you
to
going them for the win?
I think the win.
Okay.
riding this Port Adelaide minor premiership bet hard. Let's go Port.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Sunday. Let's
Yeah.
speed through the rest of these games because boy howdy.
There's some bad ones on
there are some
Sunday.
rough ones. on Sunday.
stats guy.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Hawthorn, $3.25. Take on Carlton, $1.35 at the MCG. It's gonna be-
Why isn't this at Marvel or at Launceston?
Oh, it's 2 storied rivals, Alex. That's why. They were storied in the 1980s.
Yeah.
They have not been good since. Carlton, that is. 95 premiership. That flag flies forever.
Justin Murphy.
18.5 point line. You might go, geez, that seems like either a lot or not much.
Same
That's
with the
how
over
bad
under.
Carlton are. You're just like,
I think it's about right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. They might have just done the over-under, just gone, hey, 18. I don't know. Let's not look into the stats.
And the over under 164.5, which is like, nah, if we add up their points scored per game, that's exactly
bang on.
it.
Is
I was
okay.
about to say,
So-
after Carlton kicked 150 against West Coast, they got over 70 once till they beat the Gold Coast.
Wow.
Thanks, Alex.
But they're back,
Yes.
apparently. They beat the Gold Coast, so they're back.
That
But we are back.
that includes 4 games at the MCG.
Oh, well, to be honest, the one thing that I actually, we didn't hit on there with Port Essendon is that
Yeah.
Port are on the bye,
Yes.
and Essendon copped a pretty horrible loss.
I mean, they started
West.
well. Yeah, again, they
Yes,
started
that's right.
well, but they just
They looked
I don't
horrible,
know.
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting that.
Well,
sort of-
Carlton are off the bye.
Carlton are off the bye, which is my point here.
Uh,
I do not trust this Carlton team as far as I can throw them, considering it is a large amount of grown men.
yeah, I
It's
don't know.
not
how-
very far.
So you could not throw Harry Mackay.
My shoulder, I couldn't throw anything at this point. But still, look, neither team can kick
Maybe
a score.
Owies.
This is what, 15th place, 16th on the ladder, I think. Which is
Oh, is that actually
amazing.
what it is? Oh, my
Because
God.
Carlton still sit 15th after that
Wow.
loss. And I believe, Carlton are 5-8-1.
I told you this stat.
And it is not pretty. So I'm pretty sure it's 15th versus 16th. I'll just check that.
But yeah,
because
the
that
best
sounds
stat is since round 10 last year, Carlton have won 9 games,
Yeah, it is,
Hawthorn
it
have
is.
won 8.
right. 15th place, 16th. And it is just brutal. So as Alex just pointed up, so since round 10 last year, when Carlton just completely fell apart.
Yeah.
They have 9 wins now, the Blues, after that win against Gold Coast. 9. Hawthorn have 8. Hawthorn are rebuilding.
Hawthorn are meant to be
Carlton
tanking.
are meant to be like
Carlton
a
are
vague finals
flag-
contender. What are we?
Flaggers.
We're out here being the flaggers.
Leo,
We've won
you are
one
tanking
more
wrong.
game. One more game.
That's
That's why
That's
Sam
crazy.
Mitchell rang the AFL when Sicily knocked that dude out. I was like, yeah, give him 3
Hawthorn
weeks.
paid half the competition to take their players. What are we doing here? Anyway,
And you've paid Harry Mackay $7 million.
we went, hey, can you kick a banana? He's like, nah. Can you kick a drop punt? He's like, nah. It's like, here's money. What are we doing? It's insane. Anyway, both teams are tied for 17th on total points going under. So 9 of their 14 games
I like the under, yeah.
I like
have
the
gone
under
under.
here.
We're
because
going under in this one because
This is
neither
like
team kicks straight.
65 to 52.
This is
Oh,
so.
I hope not, but yeah.
I went to this game last year, Hawthorn Carlton at the MCG. It was my son's first game of footy. It was a 1-point Carlton win where Carlton did what they did all last season, which is play one amazing quarter of football
Yeah.
and then just hold on for grim life. Turns out that's not actually a sustainable winning
No.
way of actually getting through football games.
So did your kid choose another team to go for?
And so he hadn't gone to the Dunnies all game.
oh, no.
And it's coming right down to the wire. You know, you're at the game.
You're
sitting there,
stressing.
we're just like, my father and I just go, God damn, this is horrible. And my mother, my sainted mother, has not been to the footy in 30 years.
Wow.
Sitting there, she's hung out with this squid all day, loving it. And 28 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Dad, I need to go to the toilet. I'm like,
Oh, no.
you might have to pee your pants there, pal. And my, again, sainted mother went, I'll take him. And, luckily, we were right near a race down to the toilets, and she
That's funny.
got halfway down the stairs and the siren went. So she missed the end of the game. Her first Carlton win in 30 years. Anyway, this game itself last year was a
It's a good story.
scrappy,
Needed a dragon.
gross, brutal,
It was.
like just slog. I expect very much the same this year. The tricky part is Carlton's defense is actually not bad, but that's kind of what happens when you're just dragging every team that you play into the same
A lot
mud
of,
that
lot
you're
of
in.
contested footy, yeah.
40% chance of rain on Sunday and a top of 13.
Brutal. I am not going to this one. But the Hawks,
I'm gonna be
17th for offense, 71.3. Carlton, not very good either. 75.7. That is 15th in the AFL.
Wow.
So you got 15th playing 16th and 15th in offense playing 17th in offense. I don't expect too many points to be scored in this one. That said, give me Harry McFive.
They're
Harry
going to kick 5
Mackay,
goals and he's
if-
going to kick all 5.
If he's going to kick 5 goals in any game this season, is this one.
What about when you play West Coast later this year?
He might actually do it then.
He'll still have 4.
Because that one will actually be at home as well. But
They
this is the
play
thing.
West Coast, right? Check that, Leo,
They
please.
do.
They do, yeah.
Harry has 2+ goals in 10 straight day games with the G.
Ah.
So as long as he's like there's a
He's the reverse of an owl.
essentially it's like I think it's Jaymz Winston in the NFL. He's
Oh,
like,
is
oh geez, my passes are a bit off. And he was like, hey James, do you wear glasses? He's like, yeah. He's like, do you do anything on the field? He's like, nah. It's like, oh my God. So what do you see when you're out there? Oh, it's a bunch of blurs. He's like, this idiot, what are you doing? He got LASIK and he's like, pew, pew, pew. Amazing passes.
So you think Harry Mackay
Harry
needs
Mackay-
LASIK?
Harry Mackay needs some glasses.
It might just
What's
need some
the
glasses.
LASIK?
Get
what-
some,
I was
get
gonna
some
say-
sick rec specs
Get
like
some
Mason
Mason
Cox.
Cox.
Yeah, but what's
Ben
the
Keys can
LASIK?
rip him off his head.
What's the LASIK that goes into your foot, though?
I don't know. Just give him like a titanium rod in it. It might be all right.
Give him some of those Nike carbon
Take
plate
some out
shoes.
of Jono's head. Yeah, Jono Brown's
Right,
head.
Harry McFive. The thing is, it's only $9.25 this week. So because they are playing Hawthorn, who
Only
defensively.
$9.
So this is the point I was going to make as well.
Giant miss is like double that against the Western Bulldogs who don't
True.
have a back line.
Hawthorn concede 95 points a game.
That's true.
94.9. That's a lot.
That is
That's a lot.
Like
So
Gold Coast kicked a
if
lot.
Carlton, look, we saw them sort of get back into a bit of offensive mojo 2 weeks ago against Gold Coast. Most of that, though, did feel like it was the midfield just going, right, we are allowed to kick goals. Cool. And off they went. And so it was the lesser lights. Curnow and Harry sort of stood up, did a little bit. But I like Harry and Curnow to sort of have a bit of a field day against this inexperienced
Hawthorn have given
James-
up 100 plus 7 of 14 this year.
James Sicily-less Hawthorn team as well at the G. I don't like Carlton to smash them, but I do think because Carlton's defense, as good as those numbers are, teams do put up numbers against them as
Yep.
well when they get in shootouts. So give me Harry McFive, $9.25. Curnow, not much value. If you go to 5+ for Curnow, it gets to like 420. And you're
Wow.
like, sure.
That's low.
Sam Walsh, 35+ disposals though. Talk about like just, I think Hawthorn's game plan and our beloved social guy, Leo, can attest to this. There is a lot of ball movement in these games. All of it is pretty, but Sam Walsh, look, I think he specifically in that Gold Coast game really sort of stood up and had
He did.
just his best game of the season essentially. 35+, $2.55. Don't mind that. For the Hawks, Mitch Lewis, 3+ goals.
Yep.
Just lock it away. $2.25. I love him. Will Day, 25+, and Connor Nash, 25+. That's $1.58,
Nash.
I think, for Will.
Cool.
Connor Nash was $1.73.
Cool.
This is usually my Hawthorn multi, is to have those three bundled up together. Usually with Mitch at about 2+ goals, but still I'm going to take Carlton. I don't like it, but the Carlton 1-39, I don't think they smashed them.
Yeah.
I don't even really like the line because I feel like there could just be a horrible backdoor cover where Carlton just like fall over the win, essentially, and win by like 14 or something. And just like, what has just happened? Why do I want to gouge my eyes out? Anyway, picks.
Carlton.
I was gonna. I might go Hawthorn at the line
Amazing.
at that +8.5, like in a multi or something, just because can't trust Carlton. But 1-39, I think
I'm
is the best
not
bet.
trusting either team.
Yeah, it's not great.
Draw.
Wouldn't be beyond Carlton. I'll tell you that much. All right. Sunday afternoon, Melbourne, GWS.
Up at Alice Springs, where the line is 19.5. The D's are $1.35. GWS 3.25. Over under 163.5.
Well, Alice Springs, it'd be hot and warm up there, wouldn't it, Alex?
Yeah.
You would be wrong thinking that, Jim.
Whoa.
It is meant to be 10 degrees and pissing down all day.
Brutal.
Unders, 163.5. Straight up with the unders because I have yelled and ranted and raved about how the Demons can't score. The last 5 weeks, they have a higher score of 76, which has now made it 6 for 6 going unders for the Ds. One of them was when they beat Hawthorn like 100-50 and it was just boring. But yeah, they've gone from averaging 106.8 points in the first 9 rounds. The last 5, they averaged 67.6 points. That's not great. Their over-under for this
horrible.
game specifically is 91.5 points. I'm taking the under.
I'd take that under
I'm
too.
taking the
in
under.
those conditions
Given
as
the
well, yeah.
conditions, I'm taking the under at $1.88 with Ladbrokes. Said already the under's at $1.91. Just for some player props, I haven't finished this game as of yet. Toby Green, 3+. He's kicked 3+ in his last 4. He's having a career best season. It doesn't matter the conditions. The dude's a freak. $2.20 for that. Similarly, at the other end of the field, B. Fritsch, 3 goals in each of his last 3 matches
I
against
can't
GWS.
trust him in this one. His hair will get wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can
Might wear a helmet.
Yeah, but the thing is,
To be honest, his hair just doesn't
I was
really
about to say,
move
and he
even
can
when
just
it
keep
gets wet.
slicking it back like he did
Actually, he
last
might
week.
like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
It's just
work
like,
it-
oh, I
work it a
can,
bit.
I can work it.
The wax gets on his hands a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit sticky.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, $2.25 with Ladbrokes, a 3+ for him.
3+, 5+ now.
Yeah.
Done.
No, well, that doesn't help the under. Track, Christian
Who
Petrarca.
else is going to kick any goals on that team? Like,
Probably not Cozzy Pickett. 30+ at $2.05 for Petrarca. His last 4, 30, 32, 28, 33. Don't mind that.
Yeah, Clary as well.
Yeah, no Clary yet again because he's done his hamstrings, got a blister. I saw a rumor on the internet.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
lots
you've
of
also
rumors.
got the drugs and the gambling issue. And the
the rumours.
Ruben,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't have an issue. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Kelly.
I do love that the AFL environment just goes absolutely spurts. Like, oh, well, I heard from my brother's cousin's uncle.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
you see, he drives a truck and he heard on the radio that this is. It's like, what is happening?
No, he actually delivers the
Unbelievable.
paper to the neurosurgeon.
Incredible gear sometimes.
It's shocking.
So yeah, Kelly and Green also 30+, wet going, in and under, a lot of contested footy, $1.58 and
That's the other
$1.83.
green. Isn't
Yes, Tom Green.
Tom.
Green. Tom Green and Josh Kelly 30+, $1.58 and $1.83. Look, this is going to be gross. The Demons win because GWS are off the bye.
I
Gotta go
battled
Demons.
with this one. I thought the Giants would be a bit of a chance, but then you're like, ugh, I just can't trust the Giants. I think Melbourne, I trust them a little bit better just to get over the hump.
It was just, I'm going by theory.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Gotta
All
go.
right.
Gotta go D's.
What is this final game of the round?
Oh.
Finally.
All right, you've got 47 seconds, stats
Let's
guy.
go, stats guy.
This is a massive game. West Coast $13. St Kilda $1.06.
How are they
I know.
$1.06?
So that was a high string. If you can get on that, yeah, just jump on it. I reckon $1.06. It's pretty good value for against West Coast.
I know it's St Kilda.
Yeah. I'll say it's what are they, 5th or something? Yeah. Anyway, the line
They
is
don't deserve to be
51.5, which is huge, but yeah, West Coast did allow 200 points last week.
Remember people saying to me last week, oh, West Coast are half a chance of covering? The line was done at quarter time.
So before I started writing this, I was like, West Coast have a chance of covering this, and then I've started writing. I was like, nah, talk myself out of it. Over under is 174.5. So
I'm calling under.
yeah, so I am definitely going the under in this one. Saints have only had one game over 80 points in their last 8 games. So
What did they get in that game?
92
Okay.
or something.
Yeah,
so
cool. So
nothing
not
huge
even
anyway.
much.
But they are going to get around that 100 mark, I think. But it could be like 100 to 50, 100 to 60, and it will go under, I think.
This game will be the reason why St Kilda don't make the 8 later in the year. They're not going to get enough percentage. They won't kick
Yeah.
a high enough score. The Swans gained 16% last week. West Coast won't do that.
16% was it? Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's what happens when you
Yeah.
win 200 to 30.
Yeah, I don't trust anyone but Max King to kick goals for him. So
Dan
and
Butler.
Dan Butler, who I'm going to talk about. So this the rest of them. I don't think he's going to put a big enough score on. So under 174 and a half of that $1.91 is really good for you.
It's like looking at Tottenham playing like Luton Town. It's like you should win this 7-0 and
Yeah.
they win 1-0 and it's just gross.
That's my thing. I think Saints will go well, but I wouldn't be surprised if it randomly is close for some reason.
Yeah.
But because it's at home at Optus Stadium, someone that's been actually killing it for West Coast has been Tim Kelly's averaging 27 disposals this year. Eagles are now without Yo, another player's injured, so you take him out of the midfield.
No wonder they sucked their strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, Kelly was sometimes rested forward. I think he's just going to stay in the midfield all day. They have to leave him in there.
Just sit in the center square all day.
he has
It'll
to.
be fine.
$2.25 for 30 plus. I think he's the only one that's going to rack up a lot of disposals in there. Then we're going to go to our favorite, Oscar Allen.
Print the
podcast favorite.
t-shirts.
He's only $2.40
Oscar
for
Allen,
that 2 plus.
2 plus goals.
Two
He
plus, but
had
chuck it in
3
your multi.
possessions last week and kicked 2
kicked
goals.
2 goals.
He managed to win me a lot of money.
Yes. So he's had 2 plus in 13 of the 15 games this year. He's kicked 35 goals, 12. Amazingly
That is
accurate.
awesome.
Yeah, I've been
very, very
shouting about
accurate.
that all year.
$1.40. I know it's not much, but chuck it in your multi. Absolute lock.
And it is St Kilda. Like, he's
yeah.
going to get more than 2 looks on goal.
Yeah, I think he could even kick 3, but just a lock for 2, absolutely. And then the Saints.
But it
Dan Butler is a bit of a downhill skier, but West Coast have a really slow backline, as they showed last week. Every time Swans were coming out of the midfield,
I mean, we
they
do
would
have a
just
lot
look
of young, fast dudes too.
Yeah, but Dan Butler's fast, so I think he could crumb it. He's going to get 3 plus goals, I think. He's $2.70, 4 plus, $5.50, a bit of value there. He
It's just that
kicked
game
5.
he kicks 5, you're just like,
Yeah.
cool.
He kicked 5. Well, he kicked 5 last year against the Eagles. He's
There you
only
go.
ever kicked 5 once. Eagles have a worse team than they did last year. So even 5
True.
plus, but 3 plus definitely $2.70 is my lock, I reckon. Nazaya Wanganeen Miller, I talked about him last week. He cost me a multi. Only had 24 disposals. I had him for 25 plus. Got a goal as well. He's
Did
good
you
for-
abuse him on Instagram
Oh,
after?
absolutely not.
Bad beat territory.
Bad beat. But against West
Still
Coast,
getting over my Papley beat.
I think he's going to get clear that 25. He's averaging 26 disposals across his last 5 games. Saints just love to use him out of defense. So $1.95 I think is a great multi-addition as well.
Wait, he's going to get peeled out of the defense?
Like,
yeah,
he's
hold on,
gonna
hold on,
no,
hold
he'll
on,
run-
hold on.
Like one of those defenders
So
runs
he's
through.
in a-
He's
Send a
going
circle
to catch
on
a
the
head
inside
cold standing in the half-back
Okay,
line.
have you watched modern footy? They don't just stand in the back line anymore. They run off
mean,
the half back line and go up. And have you seen
I
Nick
think Aaron
Dacos?
Francis and Lewis Melican had 15 possessions between them sitting at fullback.
All right,
All
he'll
right.
play on the wing. Anyway,
Picks. Let's
then
go,
we're just
come on.
going. Saints minus 51.5. They're 5-2 away this year, and Eagles' average losing margin is 73 points this year.
Ugh.
So
That is-
yeah,
Yeah,
gotta
but it's
go
like
Saints.
140 in the last month.
Shocking.
It's just it's tough to see St Kilda like absolutely like doing a Sydney.
Yeah, I think it
from
will be
last week.
max like
But-
60 points, but they're going to cover the line.
I think they smashed them. So yeah,
I'll go
I love the Butler stuff.
I'll
Some
go
of my
St Kilda
favourite.
minus 51.5 and under 173.5 at $4.50.
$4.
I reckon they win by
$4.50.
like 70 points,
Thread the
but
needle.
it's like 95 to 30.
Nice one. All right, so we're all taking St Kilda.
Yeah, got to take
Cool.
Saints.
All right, best bets for round 16 of the AFL. I got to go back to the well. I missed it last week. Butters, Rosie, and Ollie Wine. So it's 25, 25, 20. That's right.
Nice.
Zach Butters, 25 disposals. Connor Rosie, 25 disposals. Ollie Wines, 20 plus disposals. $2.15 now. They've cotton on with the old better same game multi. It's like, that
They
used to be $2.50, $2.40.
Nice.
Now it's $2.15.
That's still good value, yeah.
I love them, and they just don't disappoint. Harry McFive, let's do it. $9.25. That's what they'll call him, Harry McNine25. And Sam Walsh, 35 plus. I think there's plenty of the pill to be gotten in that Hawthorn-Carlton game in a scrappy affair. And you can actually probably jump on that Hawthorn one that I mentioned as well. Mitch Lewis, 2 plus goals,
Yeah.
25 each for Day and Connor Nash. Yeah.
Connor Nash, that's right, yeah.
What about you, stats guy? Best bets.
Dan Butler, as I just talked about, 3 plus goals. I think he's an absolute lock.
I will jump on
Usually
that
his
as
pace
well.
$2.70. Port Adelaide 1-39 against the Bombers. I know the Bombers have been pretty good, but I think in the wet weather, Port just their midfield's going to absolutely dominate. So $2.15 for Port Adelaide 1-39. I think is my best bet.
Nice one, Alex.
Amartey party!
Amartey
3 plus
party.
at $6.40. Let's go. If Danger plays the 25 plus as well at $2.05, but as of Thursday afternoon, we don't know. He could be laid out. And Petrarca, 30 plus at $2.05 on Sunday in the cold, wet, windy, and Alice.
Really?
Which just sounds weird to have that in the same sentence. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I find it tough in the sort of weird conditions to go for 30 plus.
I mean, he did it last week in
True.
Geelong when it was raining sideways and it was freezing cold.
It did look very cold.
God, it was cold down there.
Yes.
And there you go. That's it. Round 16, all set up for you. That is a CODE Bet daily, weekly AFL show done for you today and for this week. We'll be back on deck with the Daily Show again tomorrow. There'll be an NRL show later today as well, which is very fun and very good and features a lot of Alex and Phil yelling about how sad they are about being from New South Wales.
No, we're going to start out yelling about thank you, because St. George play Thursday night.
That's their podcasting.
It's a great podcast.
Get around all the shows, AFL, NRL, and the Daily Show, of course. There's an EPL show. They'll be
coming back soon.
Fired back up.
Yeah, I know.
Crank that back up into gear. In
A transfer window coming. Chelsea
money.
selling everyone. Arsenal getting Declan Rice. You beauty. We're going to win the title.
So subscribe across all your podcast apps, like, review, and star them all. Go on, do it. Check us a follow across all the socials as well. Facey IG, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. We will be having a battle royale of AFL 23 between Stats Guy, Marcus, and our man, Social Guy Leo.
Oh, yeah.
And only one shall emerge. Victorious? Question mark?
Hunger Games.
Anyway, send any questions
One weapon of choosing.
questions or comments via the socials, and I think that's it. Long show today. Like this, though. Footy's back.
Again.
We're
Full
back.
round.
Read
Full
about it.
rounds.
Good to see you again. We're going to put a timer on these game picks.
Yeah, we're going to need
just a timer on Carlton games.
Carlton
mainly.
games.
I
We
think
need
us
to-
two-
I
like
we
to
spent a
we're going
lot
to
of
rip
time.
through this quickly, and then you spend 17 minutes talking about Will Day.
Brisbane and Richmond. Just a lot of
That's
talk
a
about.
good game,
That was
though.
a great game.
Yeah.
We need a siren, Gerald.
All right. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, as always, to Gerald for producing and Leo for all the social gear. Thanks to me just for, I don't know, my hair today. What do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Happy bunting. Footy's back. We'll catch you tomorrow on the Daily Show. CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show. Out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.